The vast majority of videos on this topic get it wrong. Here are the best maps for beginners based on hard data and from a surfer with 3,000 hours. These have been picked specifically because they are actually the easiest and teach you fundamental skills. If you want to play these maps, you should be able to find them in the community server browser. If not, find a server with 0 players and /nominate, then RTV, and vote for the correct map. Your first map is Surf Fleet. This absolutely ancient map also happens to be objectively the easiest, with an average of 5 attempts and 2 minutes for your first completion. You should focus on using just A and D, not W, to hold yourself on the ramps, and minimizing how much you smack into the ramps and lose speed. My pro tip would be to stay on the left side for the most part. And when you return to this map, you can go for the skip. Launch off this ramp and barely miss the ceiling. This also happens to be part of the world record route. Next is Surf Air Control, an absolute classic, taking an average of just 7 attempts and 3 minutes. You shouldn't have too much trouble here either. Now you should focus on properly boarding the ramps. I use A to get close to the ramp and D to catch the ramp. Then A to even out and stay on. Then you can use air strafing to turn in the air and make it to each ramp. The very end of this map is super easy. As long as you make it to the last one, you can just flick into the end zone. This is absolutely a map you can return to, with tons of strategies and skips I can't show you because our next map, Surf Mom, might be your first real challenge, with an average of 21 attempts and just over 3 minutes to complete. Your focus should be boarding properly, right next to the spine, and keeping your speed. We're going to focus on the 2 hardest stages, 5 and 6. On stage 5, stay high on each ramp. That means the upper half, and alternate between catches on each side. While you might have some real trouble here, we have a strategy for stage 6. Board the first ramp on the far right corner and keep holding space and A. Then do a small flick before holding D and turning to the right. You're going to have to keep your speed and bhop on these platforms to the last ramp. Board the ramp, go into the hole, and then here you can use a turn bind to do one long turn into the final section. Video on that in the upper right. Now we get to what might be the best map in the entire video, Surf Borius by Synchronize, taking an average of just 12 attempts but almost 5 minutes to complete. You're going to need to use your fundamentals to beat this. Again, my best advice would be to board each ramp close to its spine and properly catch the ramp, but also make sure not to turn too quickly. Once you get enough speed, it's just a matter of maintaining it. And this is a map you can always come back to, with 2 major skips to focus on. This first skip is what we're going to call Big Skip. When you get into this room, you're going to flick over the huge hill and directly to the ramp below. You're going to need quite a bit of units to do this, but it's significantly easier than Pillar Skip. Once you get comfortable with air strafing, you can turn early before this light pillar thing and go directly to the next ramp. This is actually really hard to do without losing speed. And the last skip is going to be relatively free regardless of your skill. Go through this wall in the cave into the end rather than using the final ramp. And our last map is a stretch goal, a map that will teach you a ton if you are able to complete it. Surf Progress is a tier 2 map. That means that it is harder than almost every tier 1 map, taking an average of 33 attempts and 11 minutes to complete. Still not that crazy. This map is literally made to teach you surf. At the side of many stages is an explanation for what you should be doing, but you will likely still struggle tremendously. One choke point are the curved ramps, where you must hold the opposite key from what you would conventionally use. If you can master this technique, you'll fare far better on other classic maps like Cyberwave. Then, as you progress in your surfing career, you can take on a massive challenge, using the secret extra stage on this map to skip almost a minute of surfing. By going over this wall at the end of stage 1, top surfers must navigate a significantly harder stage, probably around tier 3 or tier 4, and benefit massively upon completion. At the other side, you come out at the final stage of the map. Once you were able to beat Surf Progress, congratulations, you are probably better than 90% of surfers in history. You should continue to beat tier 1 and tier 2 maps until you can beat them comfortably in a few minutes. Then it's time to move on to tier 3 and beyond. If you have any questions about maps or surfing in general, leave them in the comments below, and check out my top 5 tips if you're looking for more surf information. That is a banger. Also, join the Discord for a full list of servers, a help channel, and more tutorials. Peace.